Welcome to Frances Quilts, the site dedicated to the wonderful art of quilting, with a few other fun things thrown in as well. If you like what you see here, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe so that you can be notified of future videos. Hey guys, welcome back to Frances Quilts. I am so excited because today is the day. We're going to start the challenge of 12 ways to quilt a Sawtooth star block. Now, did I say I was excited? Because if you want to know the truth, I'm kind of scared about this. I'm fairly nervous at this point. The reason is this. So many of you have told me that you're making this quilt and you have this quilt top ready and you're going to be quilting along with me. And that makes me nervous because I feel like there's a lot of responsibility for me to teach you how to do this. But we're going to have fun anyway, and my excitement will come back at some point in time. So the gist of this project is every week for the next 12 weeks on Friday on my blog, I'm going to show you a video of a different way to quilt a Sawtooth star block. So at the end of the time, we'll have this lovely quilt quilted. But you're saying, I haven't made the top. I don't have time to make the top. I don't even have time to quilt it. But I still am interested in the challenge. Well, there's some different things you can do. I will provide for you a series of resources that you can use. I will provide a PDF pattern that is just on one piece of paper so that you can just sit and draw to your heart's content. You don't have time to quilt it? Maybe you have time to make 10 drawings of it and try different things. Secondly, I'm going to provide a 12.5-inch size pattern. Now you're going to have to print it out on 4 different pieces of paper and glue it together or tape it together, but you can take that pattern and you can trace it onto your fabric. If you don't have time to make this, just trace the pattern out. It's easy, it's fast, and you can that will give you a way that you can try some different designs. Finally, if you use an app like Procreate on your iPad, I'm going to give you a JPEG picture that you can put into Procreate. And the easy way to do this, when you put it into Procreate, that's your #1 layer. You can then add a layer, make it active, and you can go and start drawing your design. Now you say, oh, maybe I want to try something different. Go back into layers, uncheck the one design that you had, the one layer, make a new layer, make that active, and go and draw it again. Maybe I want to try something even more different. Same thing, go back into layers, uncheck the one layer, make a new layer, make it active, and start drawing again. Now, every time you do these different layers, you will have a different picture. These are what I came up with just sitting one night and trying different things. So this is a really great way to come up with a lot of different designs. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the basics. Every Friday I will put out a video. You can access it through YouTube or you can find it on my blog. In each video I'm going to talk about what I'm thinking about with the block. I'm going to give you some hints, and then I will actually have a video demonstration of me actually quilting that block. Now, again, a little nerve-wracking to do, but we're going to do it. I will be doing the demonstrations on my sit-down long arm from Juki. Now, I know that's bigger, it has more throat space, and you may say, well, that just makes all the difference in the world, and it does, but everything that I'm doing can be done on your domestic machine. Just if something I'm doing doesn't work for you, change it and try something different. Now let's talk threads. I have decided to quilt the entire top with one thread. I'm using a buttercup yellow from Glide, and I think it's a gorgeous thread and color. I have decided to use the same thread all the way through. I think it will be obviously much easier to do, but if you don't want to do that and you want to change threads on every single block, please go for it. Make this your quilt. Okay, finally, the thing you have to remember in this challenge is to do whatever you can do. If you see a block and you go, I really don't like that, then do something different. The last thing we want is to have a bunch of quilts out there that look exactly the same. So do what works for you. I'm going to be using rulers on some of my things. If you have a ruler and you want to use it, fine. If you don't have a ruler, think about a different way that you can free motion quilt that particular area. And if you have a ruler that's different from mine, go for it. Just, do whatever works for you. The main thing here is for you to push through and actually try some of these things. That's what we're going for. Okay, bottom line, we want you to have fun. Whatever you can do to make this fun, please do it. And you know what? If you come up with ideas different from mine, I would love to see them. Please send them to me. You can find me through my website, which is francisquilts.com. Again, I'll leave a link in the show notes. Oh, do you know where the show notes are? I have a really, really, really hard time finding show notes, or at least I used to. So let me just show you where they are now. If you're on your iPhone and you're watching this video in a landscape, you don't see anything there. There's no notes, there's no anything. First thing you need to do is to turn your phone so that the video is just a little thing up at the top. And then you see this little arrow right here? Click that, and voila, there are the show notes. You can read all the way down through them. When you're through, exit out of them, and then go back to your video. So you see, you've already learned something. Well, I think that's it for now. We've talked about everything that we need to introduce this challenge, and so I think it's time to hit the machine and start quilting. How about you? Remember, if you like what you've seen, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Please check out my website and daily blog at francisquilts.com, and I can be found on Facebook and Instagram at Francis Quilts. Thanks so much for joining me. Hope to see you again soon.